wreak havoc on our country and the world. In other words, there is an enormous amount of work that has to be done, and much of that work will be very expensive. For that reason, we as members of Congress have the responsibility to make sure that our taxpayer dollars are spent wisely.
Everybody, state, city, and county governments are going to be receiving $350 billion in stimulus aid this week, and this can mean new state stimulus checks for many of you. But it all depends on what states and cities that you live in. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. This is your fourth stimulus check update and Social Security benefits update. There's much news to cover in this video. Everybody, thanks to President Biden's $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan, state, city, and county governments are going to be receiving their first infusion of direct stimulus aid from $350 billion in emergency funds this week. And if any of you folks support the fourth stimulus check of $1,000 a month, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes.
House for the bill continue to change. A few years ago, when majorities of Democrats were mistakenly convinced that foreigners had hacked voting machines and tampered with tallies in 2016, this was marketed as an election security bill. But it keeps morphing.
What are your thoughts on this, everybody? Should the Republicans and the Democrats join forces and pass a fourth stimulus bill? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. Now, Kevin McCarthy provided a link to the Small Business Administration's website, where restaurants can apply for funding equal to their crisis-related monetary losses. Right now, guys, restaurants are eligible for up to $10 million per business, or no more than $5 million per location. Funding recipients don't have to pay back the amount, as long as the money is used towards payroll, mortgage payments, maintenance, or construction. Several other Republican lawmakers have been prompting the Restaurant Assistance Fund, despite voting against the overall stimulus relief package that created the program. The GOP lawmakers have defended touting the restaurant program by arguing it doesn't mean they support everything else in the sweeping pandemic relief law. Now, Republican Senator recently introduced legislation with Democratic Senator Kyrsten Sinema to establish a restaurant relief program.
Include, and many of the issues that you just named, Mr. Chairman, many of the issues that you just named. But, well, again, the President has his vision. Congress will work its will. But I feel very optimistic. In any event, I felt optimistic about our ability to pass such a bill.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen even said this in a statement, everybody. With this funding, communities hit hard by the crisis are going to be able to return to some sort of normalcy. They'll be able to rehire teachers, firefighters, and other essential workers, and to help small businesses reopen safely. The Treasury Department also provided guidelines on how funds can be used. Local and state governments cannot use the funds to offset tax cuts that were enacted after March 3rd. In addition, they cannot use funds to make a deposit to a pension fund, but local and state governments are allowed to use the money to invest in water or even broadband infrastructure. Everybody, do you believe that President Biden must do a better job in sending out the fourth stimulus payments? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. Now, most of the direct aid in the $300 billion American Rescue Plan will be allocated proportionate to states' unemployment, as determined by the number of unemployed individuals over a recent 3-month period. And this past Sunday, Utah Governor defended Republicans' push to end enhanced unemployment. He said that although some families continue to struggle over the economic fallout, the benefit must be rolled back at some point. Do you believe, everybody, that the enhanced unemployment benefits must come to an end? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. In addition, folks, several other Republican senators, besides the state of Utah, have announced that they are planning to roll back the enhanced benefits. These include states like Montana, South Carolina, and Arkansas.